Good morning, Kal Kadosh. We're just going to continue with Daf Tet Amud Aleph today. That's 9A1. But we're going to start on the last line of Chet Amud Bet. There we had a question. Rav Bar Matna, he comes and he asks Rava from a Braita. And it says like this, Eitve Rav Bar Matna l'Rava. So Rav Bar Matna comes and he asks Rava, Hayita korato meshucha. What happens if the korah is meshucha or tluya? So here, right, we have meshucha or tluya. This is the meshucha or tluya. It's hanging or meshucha. Okay? So it's like drawn forth or it's hanging. So it says, if it's going to be pachot mishlosha, which means if it's going to be a distance of less than 3 tvachim between the beam, the top beam, the korah, and the walls of the mavui, en tzarich lavi korah acheret, so you don't need another one. You don't need to bring another top beam. But if it's going to be 3 or more, tzarich lavi korah acheret, you do need to bring another one. Rabban Shimon Gamliel Omer, Rabban Shimon says, pachot me'arba, if it's going to be less than 4 tvachim, you don't need to bring another one. 4 tvachim, you do need to bring another one. So now it's very interesting because the first opinion was 3.
Rabbi, is another attachment? Is that what we're talking about?
Which attachment? I'll show it to you in the screen.
Okay.
This is Ayita Kurato o Tluya. This is the one which is Tluya.
Yes.
Meshucha, it doesn't have a picture here of Meshucha. Here's Meshucha.
Yes.
This is Meshucha.
Got it.
Okay, this is Meshucha, and this is Tluya.
Got it.
Okay. So it says over here, so what does that mean? So he said, if it's going to be that the distance between the walls of the mavui and this korah is less than 3, you don't need to bring another one. If it's more than 3, you do need to bring another one. The next opinion, which was Rashbag, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says, no, it's not 3, it's 4. Again, we're talking about tfachim. How do you know it's talking about tfachim and not amot?
How?
So this, my Rosh Shiva once taught us, if it says shlosha in arba'a or shalosh.
Right.
Tfachim is masculine. So therefore it's arba'a tfachim, shlosha tfachim. Amot is feminine. So it's shalosh amot or arba amot.
Right. Got it. Beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. No, because here it doesn't say the actual word tfachim. But the fact that it says shlosha, you already know that it's shlosha tfachim. Or it's arba'a, you already know that it's arba'a tfachim. Okay? Okay, very good. So now it says we're at the top of Tet Amud Aleph. Okay? So now it says, My love meshucha mi bachutz utluya mi bifnim. Isn't the explanation of the Braita is that korato was meshucha, means that the korah is talking about outside of the mavui, on top of these pegs, right? Utluya means on the inside, right? So here, let me just see if there's any pictures. No. Okay. So the Gemara answers, no. What's happening? Yeah. It says, Idi ve'idi mi bifnim. Both of them are talking about on the inside, which means both of them are talking about that it's within the mavui. It's not on the outside of it, it's within the mavui. Meshucha just means from one direction. So that was the picture that I showed you. That here I could show it again. Let me just see it again. This is meshucha. So meshucha is from one direction. Okay, and this is where it says, by the way, 3 tfachim is going to be pasul. If there's going to be 3 tfachim over here, it's going to be pasul. Okay, this is the next case on Tet Amud Aleph.
Yes.
Okay, so it says over here. So if here it's going to be on one direction, it's meshucha, which means in one direction it's over here. Yeah, but Bachaki, you could see the drawings. Yeah.
Yeah, that's clear. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the mute. Okay. So basically it's going to be drawn over here. So it's sticking on this side. So it says
yeah, I saw these pictures, by the way. He sent them Laurent sent them.
Yeah, exactly. Laurent Becker. So that's what we're going to be using now. These pictures. Okay. So this is Tluya.
Nicest picture.
You like them?
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I
this-
spent the afternoon yesterday looking at all these pictures.
very good. Baruch Hashem. So that's what it says here. This is called that it's tluya. Because remember, this beam, you have it up here, and now how's it going to be supported? So it's going to be supported over here. This is where it's supported. That's tluya, it's hanging. So he says over here, if it's going to be less than 3 tvachim from here, right, where you see my cursor, until the wall, it's kosher. If it's going to be more, then it's going to be, you're going to need to bring another one. Okay? So it says, tluya is mishte ruchot, from both sides. Okay, ma'udatem, I would have thought to say, meruach achat amnin and levud, that only from one side do I say levud, but mishte ruchot, lo amnin levud, but two sides we do not say levud. Kamashmanan comes teach you that you do say it, which means like this. Over here, this is levud from one side. Here, I would say levud also from the other side. So the chidush is that I would have thought to say that only on one side can you say that it's within the 3 tfachim, it's going to be okay. If it's on this side, it's not okay. Kamashmanan comes teach you that even on both sides, as long as it's within 3 tfachim here, which is 24 centimeters, and 3 tfachim here, 24 centimeters, it's still going to be okay. Here you see the mezuzah on the door. Okay? Fine.
means it's a kosher picture.
It's a kosher picture, exactly. Yeah. No, but they even paid attention to that little detail. You know, it's like it's very nice. Okay. Ravashi Amar. Ravashi comes now and he says, right? Let's stop the share again. So Ravashi comes and he says, Meshucha vehi tluya. Right? We're talking about here, really be'emet, it's meshucha and tluya. Sorry, I have to go back. That was quick. Okay. So meshucha tluya is this one. Meaning, it's meshucha, but it's also tluya. Tluya means it's hanging. So here it's hanging. That's what you see here. But it's also, right, meshucha, because it's not from one end to the other end. So it's hanging, plus it's in the air, right? It's not covering the entire ground. So that's what it says here. It has to be less than 3 tfachim. Okay? Meshucha ve'itluya hechi dami. What's the case? You put 2 yetidot, 2 pegs, which are crooked, on 2 of the walls of the mavui. Okay? And begovan shosha, it cannot be 3 tfachim tall. Right? You don't also have, the resh does not have 3 tfachim. Meaning, from here upwards, you also do not have 3 tfachim. Okay? From here upwards, like this. This resh. Like an L. Okay? So says the Gemara. Ma'udatema, I would have thought to say or lavud or chavot tamina. Do we say or lavud or chavot? Remember, lavud means that within 3 tfachim it's considered attached. And chavot means that I'm putting it, that it's going to be chavot, which we're going to explain, right? What does that mean? So it says, lavud v'chavot lo amrinan, k'mashvana, we do say both of them. Okay? It doesn't actually explain over here the concept of chavot. Where is it? Yeah, chavot is to bring it down. The lachav chavot is like gudachi, that we're bringing it downwards. Okay? That means here, since it's in the air, I have to bring it downwards. Number 2, levud. That means as long as it's going to be within the 3 tfachim from each side, it's going to be okay. So we just learned the previous Gemara that the chidush is that you do say levud on both sides, meaning less than 3 here, less than 3 here, but it's still considered attached. Now the next chidush is that I'm also going to say chavot and levud, which is chavot, you bring it down, plus levud. So Tani Rabbi Zakai commend Rabbi Yochanan, taught Rabbi Zakai in front of Rabbi Yochanan. Ben lechayayim betachat hakora nidom kekarmelit. Between the lechayayim, between the lechis, and underneath the korah, it's like a karmelit. What does that mean? Let's see if he has a picture here. Here. No. No picture. Okay. Which basically the concept is between the lechis, right? Between one lechi and another lechi. Remember, the lechi is the doorpost. So between the lechis, no, it doesn't have it here. Okay, this is the next picture. So it says over here, between the lechis and underneath the korah, it's like a karmelit. So Amalei, so Rabbi Yochanan, when he told Rabbi Zakai, Puktani lebra, go tell this outside, we don't hold this. For sure it doesn't exist. So Amar Abaye says, Mistabre minta Rabbi Yochanan. It's logical to say like Rabbi Yochanan. Why? Tachata kurah, underneath the kurah, that it's going to be mutar ledato, and therefore he said that it's a braita meshubeshet. So he says, however, though, ben lechayayin is going to be a sur. But Rava says, no, ben lechayim is also going to be mutar even according to Rabbi Yochanan. So Amar Rava, what's the proof? Rava says, how do I know this? The Chiyata Rav Dimi, Amar Rav Yochanan, was when Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Babel. He said in the name of Rav Yochanan, Makom she'em bo arba al arba, a place which does not have 4x4. Okay? Mutar livnei reshut rabim, livnei reshut yechid, lekatef alav. So it's permitted for everybody, whether it's the people of the public domain or private domain, to put the things down on that. As long as they're not going to interchange. So again, one more time, this is Embo Dalad al Dalad. So imagine, this is the Reshut Yachid. Okay, this is a private domain. This is a public domain. This is like a wall. So now these people are walking around. So now I've got on my back something that I'm carrying. I'm allowed to come and put it down here. Yeah? And somebody from the Reshut Yachid could also put his things down here. Why? Because this, since it doesn't have 4x4, right? Since it does not have the 4x4, so again, we're talking about 4 tfachim by 4 tfachim. So therefore, it's like a makom ptur. It's like a place which is exempt. So, however, though, I cannot switch, which means I'm from the public domain, private domain, cannot put this here, and then you in the public domain take it from here. Because then we are interchanging. So that you can't do. But I can put my things down here, and you can put your things down there. And there's no problem. Okay? So now, according to Abaye, what does he do now? Okay? So says the Gemara, according to Abaye, what are you going to do? So he says, Hatam begova shlosha. Here we're talking about that it's 3 tfachim or more from the ground. And therefore, it's recognizable that it's its own territory. It's its own place. Okay? So Amar Abaye comes and he says, how do I know this? It says, Tocha petach tzarich lechi acher latiro. Within the entrance itself, you need another one. This is Tocha petach. Look right here. This area is called inside of the entrance. So this inside of the entrance, you need another lechi to permit it. This is a lechi acher. This is a side post. This is the lechi of the mavui over here. Okay, but you need another one here to permit this area. Okay? If you're going to tell me it's got 4x4. It says, you need another 4 to permit it. Okay? So says the Gemara Rava. And according to Rava, what are you going to say? So he says, Hatam tepatuach lekarmelit. There it's open up to a karmelit. And therefore, since it's open up to a karmelit, that's why it's going to combine with the karmelit to say that it's going to be a sur. Okay, the traveling, the carrying within it. Aval reshut rabim mai, but if it's going to go to the reshut rabim, what's going to be the halacha? Should be permitted. Yatziva ba'ara vegiora bishmeshmaya says what? Are you going to tell me that the person that lives in the city, right, the citizen, he's going to be you have to respect him. He's going to be as if to say, right, be'ara and the ger, which you're not. He's going to be bishmeshmaya. How could it be that the person which is like a lower off, he's going to come and he's going to be on a higher level? Usually citizens should have more rights than visitors, right? So the same thing. Yatziva be'ara ve'giora b'shmeshmaya. What, the one that's living here in the land, he's going to be on the land, and the one that's coming from the outside, the giora, the ger, right? There's the stranger from the outside. He's going to be in the heavens. What's going on over here? It doesn't make sense. Which means the Sfara is the exact opposite. Reshut Rabim is more stringent than Karmelit. So how could you tell me that you're not allowed to be metaltel between the lechayim and a mavui, which is open up to a karmelit, but to the shutabim it's mutar? Doesn't make sense. So there's a Gemara in yes, matzah minet mino v'nior. There's a concept of min b'mino, and then it awakens itself. Remember, min b'mino means the same species. So sometimes I say that it's the same species, then it awakens itself. The concept is, for example, I'll give you an example. Do we say this is a concept in halacha called chozer v'neor by yisur v'eter, for example. Let's say you have a drop of milk that fell into your chamim, into the adafina, a drop of milk, and it was batel b'shishim, right? It was annulled in 60. What happens is that afterwards, a little bit more milk falls in. Do I say that previous milk comes and it finds this milk and it reawakens and now they combine, and now I would need 60 against both of them. I don't say that the first one was already annulled, and now I need 60 against the second one. Now, let's say there were 2 drops, now I need 120. Before, I would have done 60 against the first drop, and then if I don't say it reawakens itself, I only need 60 against the second drop, which for sure I'll have as well. But if I say that they combine and Choser V'Neor, it reawakens itself, I don't say that. So here it says the same thing. The Carmelit, and that's what he's saying here, the Shetach between the Lechayim is like a Carmelit. So the Carmelit finds the other Carmelit, and then what happens is they combine, and then it's going to be a problem. But the Reshut Rabim is a completely different domain, so it doesn't combine with the Carmelit. Okay? Amale Ravuna B'Red Rav Yeshua l'Rava. Says Ravuna B'Red Rav Yeshua to Rava. Ve'ad lo tispra, and you don't think it's logical to say that between the Lechayim, it's going to be asur? Okay? It's going to be prohibited. So this was this picture. You also have it in the art scroll, but here you have it. Okay? Less than 4 tfachim are in between. Okay? So Banul Machloket, this is a machloket between Rashbag and Rabbanan. What does that mean? This is a machloket between Rashbag and Rabbanan. You see here Rashbag, Rabban Shimon Gamliel, and the rabbis. He says, why? Let Rashbag, according to Rashbag, the Amar that he says, that we do say levud until 4 tfachim, it comes out that they're all connected because of levud. And therefore, you're allowed to be mishtamesh b'mavui ad chudua primi shelechem b'ni. So you could use this entire mavui until here, according to Rashbag. Why? These are all connected. Because we say levud because each one is within the 4 tfachim of each other. However, though, right? Aval ben lechayim, but in between each one of these, according to everybody, it's going to be asur. Right? So how could you say then that Rabbi Yochanan says that it's permitted within these lechayim? So
shouldn't be asur for le Rabbanan. Why should be asur le Rabbanan? The Rabbi Shimon I understand, but why le Rabbanan is asur? If they started from the first port toward the Shut Harabim, then the Mavoid, it's all open for them.
Because I understood that according to Shitat Rabbanan, they only hold 3.
No, they should go from the first one.
Yeah, but each one is 4 tfachim distance. According to Rabbanan, you only say lavud until 3 tfachim, not 4. Mm-hmm. So therefore, according to the rabbis, you could only do the first one. The second one is already too far away to be connected to the first one.
Yeah, but go by the first one.
Yeah, you're right. So the first one is okay. That's what it says here. The Rabbanan, there's a picture here. The Rabbanan is only the first one. So the first
from the first one on is okay for Rabbanan, but for Le Rashbag, you want to take from the Mahmir from the last one.
It's opposite, not Mahmir. It's a Kula. Meaning, according to Rabbanan, you're only allowed to come and carry on opposite this lechi. According to Rashbag, you're allowed to carry until this lechi. Because since they're all connected, all this area until Rashbag is permitted. Mm-hmm. Okay? Okay, next. So says the Gemara, okay, Rava, and according to Rava, what's he going to say? So says the Gemara, Hatanani the Petuach Carmelit, it's open to a Carmelit. So therefore, since it's open to a Carmelit, that's why he said you're not allowed to carry inside of it. But a Mavui that is open to a Reshut Rabim, it is permitted. Aval Reshut Rabim Mai, it should be Pshari. The Gemara is going to ask the same question. The same thing. How could it be that if it's open to a Reshut Rabim, it's more lenient than open to a Carmelit? So the answer is the Gemara, yes, the same concept that we said before. It's going to find the same species and then come out. Now we're on Teta Mubet. Okay? So Ravashi says, okay, he says, Kigon, sheretzafo belechayim pacho me'arba, you put it less than 4 tfachim, b'meshech arbamot, lerashbag de'amar levud, so according to Rashbag that he says that we say levud, havale mavui, it's a mavui, v'tzarich lechi achel le'atidos, so you need another lechi to permit it. Right? And according to the rabbis, that they don't say levud, right? Because it's more than 3 tfachim, and they only hold until 3 tfachim, you don't need another lechi to permit the entire mavur. Okay, so now this picture now that I have here is this one over here, is what we're going to say right now. Rashbag, according to Rashbag, this one, you could see it on the outside, which means it's sticking out a little bit. Right? This pole, it's sticking out a little bit. So you could see it on the outside. Remember, this is a mavui. Whatever's tiled like this is a mavui. It's like a side street. whatever's tiled like this is a Reshut Rabin, the public domain. Okay, and whatever's grass is Reshut Yechid, private domain. Okay? So it says over here, this is considered Nira mi bachutz, v'shava mi bifnim, right? And therefore, in such a case, what's going to happen is that it doesn't look like a lechi. So therefore, what happens is, it says over here, michutz kotel amavui, shenir rak v'litasha. So this should actually permit the mavui. So answers the Gemara, midi hu taima Rabbi Yochanan. That's only according to Rabbi Yochanan. Yeah, that's only according to Rabbi Yochanan that he says, right? Kiyata Ravin, when Ravin comes, he says in the name of Yochanan, it's not a lechi. So since it's not a lechi, you still need another side post in order to permit it. Okay? Fine. Next. Itmar, it was stated. Niremi bifnim v'shava mi bachutz. Yeah, what happens if the opposite? If it's sticking out on the inside, that's this one. You see, nirami bifnim, you could see it on the inside, but on the outside, it's flushed. It's equal. Yeah? So when you look at it on the outside, right, it's equal. This is nirami bachutz. You could see it on the outside, but it's not nirami bifnim. Here's nirami bifnim because it's sticking out on the inside. And this is nirami bachutz. You could see it on the outside part. Okay? And then this is the next picture. Fine. So it says over here, so what happens now? Right? Ravashi, so he says, what happens if it's going to be nirami bifnim v'shava b'chutz, nidum mishum lechi. Right? It is going to be a lechi. Nirami b'chutz v'shava b'chutz, it's the opposite. So then Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi, one of them says it's a lechi, one of them says it's not a lechi. Okay, so machloket, is it considered a lechi or not? Tistayem, we want to bring a proof that Rabbi Chia hu de'amar, that it's Rabbi Chia is the one that he says that it is a lechi. The Tani Rabbi Chia, but Rabbi Chia taught, kotel shetzido echad kanus mechavero. What happens if you have a wall that part of it is sticking in on the inside and its friend? Okay, so you have a wall which is sticking on the inside of its friend. It's here. Look. Yeah, kotel. This is a wall. Shetzido echad kanus mechavero. The one of the parts of the wall is more inside than the other one, meaning it's not an equal wall. One of them, you see, shavemi bifnim, and this is nirami bachutz. You could see it on the outside.
It's like built in.
Yeah, it's like built in. Many times this happens that, you'll have a wall, but then all of a sudden it goes in, and then it continues. Okay? So it says, ben nirami bachutz shavemi bifnim, ben shavemi bifnim, v'shavemi bachutz. It is a lechi. So tistayem, so that's going to be a good proof, right, that it was, how do you call it? That it is going to be considered a lechi. Rabbi Yochanan milosh shmi aleha. And Rabbi Yochanan doesn't hold of this. He says, Rabbi Yochanan, he heard it, but he doesn't hold of it. Rabbi Chia nami lo savala. So Rabbi Chia also doesn't hold of it. Right? So if Rabbi Chia doesn't hold of it, so maybe Be'emet is the same thing. So hi mai. So what are you going to say now? So what are you going to say now? It says, Bishma Rabbi Yochanan lo savala. I understand Rabbi Yochanan doesn't hold of it. So because of that, he didn't teach it. But according to Rabbi Chia, if he doesn't hold of it, so why did he teach it? Meaning, why am I going to come and start saying opinions that I myself don't hold of? So he says, the Gemara says, no, really be'emet, right? So by the way, it comes out that according to Rabbi Chia, he does hold of it, the fact that he did actually teach it. And now we're going back to what we said in the name of Rabba Baravuna, that if you could see it on the outside and it's equal on the inside, it is a lechi. So Amar Rabba says, Umotvina nashmaitin. We're going to ask that on our Mishnah. Why? Chatzer ketana shenifretza gdola. When you have a small chatzer, a small courtyard that was open up to a bigger one. Okay, let me see if I have here a picture. Yeah, this is a small chatzer, a small courtyard with houses, and this is a bigger one. So they have a bigger lot. Okay? So when you have a chatzer ktana that broke open to the chatzer gdola, gedola is muteret. Here, this is permitted. Uktana asura, and here it's going to be prohibited to carry. Why? Because this becomes like the entrance of the bigger one. Okay? V'im'ita. Now, if you're going to tell me that nirami b'chutz v'shavami b'fnim is a lechi, so this should also be permitted because this is a lechi. Because it's nirami b'chutz v'shavami. Here, it's nirami b'chutz. You could see it on the outside. You see here the cursor? This wall is seen on the outside, here also, but then on the inside it's shaveh, it's equal. Here it's equal, but then here it's nira mibachutz. So nira mibachutz v'ra mibifnim should be permitted. So answers the Gemara. Amar Bizira says Bizira, no. V'nichnasim kotle ketana legdola. The walls of the smaller one are coming into the bigger one. You see here, look. This is the kotel of the chatzer ketana. This is the wall of the smaller one. It's coming inside of the bigger one property. And the bigger property goes up to here. It's hiding. You see it in the corner here, in the corner here?
Yes.
Okay. So ask the Gemara, fine. Velema levud, v'tishtere. Why don't I just say levud and it should be permitted? Why here it's levud? This is 4 tvachim or there's 2 tvachim. Yeah? So Amar Ravina v'chitem, and I'm going to tell me too whether there's a lot of space. V'hatani v'ada baravini kamed Reb Chanina ketana be'eser gedola b'achadesre. He says the ketana chatzer ketana that we're talking about is 10 amot. Again, eser, not asara, so you know it's amot. And the gedola is achadesre, is 11 amot. So Amar Ravina says no. Muflagim mikot zeh b'shtayim mikot zeh bara. Here it's 2 tvachim, and here it's 4 tvachim. Okay. So therefore, since it's 4 tvachim and 2 tvachim, so it's not in the middle. So therefore, because of that, each one is different. So because of that, it comes out that it's not going to be, we don't say levud because it's got more than the 3 tvachim. So says the Gemara, fine, but at least in one place say levud. On this side that you have 2 tvachim, say levud over here. Velema levud meruach hachav, and permit it because of the levud which is over here. So says the Gemara, on Yoda Mudalef, Rebbe, this is Rebbe, right? The Amar that he says, Ba'inan shne pasin, that you need 2 pasin. The Tanya was we learned in a Braita, Chatzer, nitere bepas echad, Rebbe Omer shne pasin. Look, this is a Chatzer. So a Chatzer, you need to be permitted, according to Rebbe, you need 2 pasin. This is called a pas. So you need 2, one on this side and one on this side. According to the first one, the Amar was enough even 1. But according to Rebbe, you need 2. So this is according to Rebbe that you need 2 pasim. Okay, and we continue Bezrat Hashem tomorrow.
Hazak Baruch Rabbi, beautiful.